Alright, Mopar people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Justmoparjoe, and my kneecap's feeling a lot better. I appreciate y'all watching that last video. It's not actually cracked. I had some people ask me, did you break your knee? No, but I dropped 215 pounds straight down on it, and that was my body weight. It didn't feel good for a while, but it's getting better. I was going to talk today about some parts that I just picked up. These parts are somewhat desirable, I'd say. Well, actually, before I show these to you, let's talk about parts and value. Lately, I've bought some different Mopar parts. Just kind of, I'm gonna use them on a build, or I'm adding them to my collection, or whatever. And the price on some of this stuff is just all over. And I feel like a lot of that is our own fault as Mopar people. You know, if you're a decent person and you're trying to sell other decent people stuff, you usually charge them less. But if you find somebody like Mark Warman or Richard Rawlings out there, I would probably feel the need to charge them 10 times as much as well. So I'm not judging anybody, but typically I don't really sell parts unless it's, you know, for a particular reason. If I need some cash to finish a different project or whatever, or if I'm trying to help somebody out that I know, I do that. You know, that's what Mopar people are supposed to do. So let me show you what I got going here. So this, in its beautiful condition, is a big block 727 transmission. So the guy told me on the phone, he said, oh yeah, I got two big blocks. One of them's a 63 model push button, and the other one I think is a 72. You know, I just had it out there in the collection, whatever. So here it is, and I was really expecting the valve body, which there it is, to still be in the transmission. That would have been nice, and that, you know, the pan would have been on the transmission. So to me, it's a red flag that that's off. There was probably an issue with this transmission. I cannot turn the tail shaft or the input shaft. They're both kind of rusty, so it looks like this has been sitting outside or halfway covered in a barn. But it's you know, it's probably not totally locked up. There's that lever's moving, so there's, you know, y'all will probably be able to tell me more about this than I know about it. But that's a part. Here's a some kind of shifting lever. I'm not sure what that came out of. It looks kind of long. I would guess that's probably for a slant 6 or something, but I'm not scared to cut it down and re-weld it shorter if I need to. I don't have any slant 6 stuff. Here's a piece of kickdown linkage. Let's see, that one would probably pivot on the side of the transmission, and this would go to the top of the valve body. That's what it looks like to me. Oh, there we go. There's a kickdown lever for the valve body. And just an old crusty valve body I'll probably never be able to use. But the transmission itself is good. And it'll be a good one to build just for the case, if the case is still good. A lot of people, they end up buying these RV 440s, which I wanted to talk about the RV 440 for a second. So let me put up a picture here for you. This is a guy that I know, local. He was looking for a 440 and a transmission, and here's a picture of the stuff that the guy sent him. Yeah, and the guy wanted $1,100. I think that's right, $1,100 or $1,400 for an RV 440 and a transmission. And notice on the back of this transmission, it has the big goofy drum for the parking brake, emergency brake, whatever you call it. So come back to here. This transmission's tail shaft housing and tail shaft would work in that other transmission, and you'd be able to switch over. So if you had an RV 440 and this transmission, I mean RV transmission and this transmission, you could make a good one out of it. I've done that before. But that's outrageous. That's an outrageous price for that motor and transmission. I told him, offer the dude $500 all day long. If you live in Arkansas, let me look. If you live in Arkansas, $500 should be what you pay for an RV 440 and transmission. Honestly, maybe $750 if they, you know, if the stuff looks nice, it doesn't seem to be high mileage, whatever. I mean, $500. You realize there's a lot going into that. You're going to have to tear it apart. You're going to have to clean everything. Honestly, which I don't normally do this, you should pull it apart, look at the bearings, check it all out before you ever try to run it, especially if it's been setting. If it hasn't been setting, then, but it's an RV, so yes, it's been setting. Let's keep going to my parts pile for today. So here's my next pickup. Oh wait. This transmission, just like it sets, was a $100 bill. So I don't feel bad about that. It should be a good builder. And I've got another one I can put together with it and for sure have a good builder. But yeah, $100, that seems like a fair deal to me. Let me know in the comments if you think that's too high or too low. And I'll keep going. So here's my second deal of the day. This is an old Carter. Looking at the numbers, 9605S 3217. I believe it's either a 600 or 650 Carter. This would say, like example, this Edelbrock. This is a 1407, and I think this 07 of 81, that could have been made in 81. I don't remember. That's probably not right. But anyway, 1407. This is a 750. You notice I keep all these that I can. I mean, they're easy to build. I sent Randall one. Let's see, that's a 1405. I normally just look at the butterflies, so if it's got small ones in the front and big on the bottom, that's a 600 or 650. So on this dude, those look smaller and bigger, so this is probably a 600 or 650, I don't remember. But I hate that it's locked up, but even being locked up like that, $25 carburetor all day long. You can go buy one brand new for $300 now or $325, but it's not worth it to me. Like I said, you could buy this one, fully disassemble it, soak it. I think it could be rebuilt. So I feel pretty good about that deal. If you're online trying to sell your used Edelbrock carburetor, even if it was in this condition, if you're trying to sell that carburetor, which it is a 750, that gives it a little bit more value. But if you're trying to sell that for more than 150 bucks used, I think you're wasting your time. You know, people just don't like to spend that. Like, I actually found this carburetor in the back room, rebuilt it. That one was $25. Those two were, I think, that one was actually given to me. The guy gave it to me. That one was 50 bucks. So, you know, when you go out asking $200 for that carburetor, you're really asking for too much. I'm just, from my experience. Let's keep going. Last item, the infamous Edelbrock Performer RPM intake. It's not an air gap, so I think this is probably the precursor to an air gap. It looks like a 7176. So pretty good dual plane. I look at the bottom. I would call those 360 ports. They look a little bit larger. I can't tell if this one's been cut. I don't think so. So it should be good to go. Good cleanup. I mean, it could be sandblasted or it can be painted. There's a 09102. I'm not sure what year this is from, but I think it's probably before the air gap. So small block Mopar intakes online right now. If this was on Facebook Marketplace, somebody'd be asking $200 for it all day long. I got it for a $100 bill. And that seems fair to me. $100 for a used intake from 1980 something. That's a fair deal. Like, I realize, let me look at you. I realize that I had to go out and buy a dual plane intake for that 360 build I did. And that was Wind, I think Wind Stealth. It was definitely over 240 bucks, I think, 250. So that's a new intake for $250, which you know, it's a name brand. You could, I guess, buy the 318 Wheel Run was talking about them the other day. for pretty cheap certain time of the year. But I don't remember what they were. But like this Edelbrock intake right now, if you bought it brand new, $350, $325. That's outrageous. And it is what it is. I can't tell you exactly why. You know, marketing on those things are so high now, but if you're buying American made, it should be good quality, whatever. This was back when America was, you know, Ronald Reagan was president when this was made, so it's probably okay, you know. But just Mopar parts in general. Remember, I bought this 360 block, Magnum block. I paid $500 for it. I think that's, from my research, that's about at the high end of the market on these. Like I said, I didn't know if it ran or not. There was some, oh, my dog dish hubcaps. I got these the other day on Facebook deal, and I think that's just a sticker somebody stuck on here. But I want to say he claimed these were new old stock or something. And I've got a set of good looking wheels, but I wanted to get a set of hubcaps that all matched. And I haven't, y'all could let me know in the comments, what do these hubcaps go to? I paid $100 for the set, and they all look brand new. I don't think they've ever been popped on anything, so that seems like a fair deal to me. But I've seen people online asking $50 a piece for those. Mopar parts are crazy, so well, you probably should try to help out people when you can. You know, if you need to make money on something, I'm not going to judge you on it, but the internet will. So get ready for that. Merry Christmas if I don't see you before then. I plan on doing some kind of cool Christmas episode. Maybe I can get something big going for that. I guess that's about it. I've taken too much of your time anyway. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you next time.